Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Amit Relin and welcome to Equals to. Okay?
I was interested in just doing it.
Correct.
For the fun of it.
Yeah. What equals to him in this life? So welcome Akshay to the first episode. Well, in this world that's so full of questions, there need to be certain episodes, certain anecdotes that can provide you some solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Amit Relin and welcome to Equals to. It's my podcast that kind of aims at unraveling certain conversations with interesting folks who can actually bring anecdotes from the field of entertainment, sports, maybe sometimes politics or not politics, but kind of unveil life lessons from life itself. I've been running a business for about 15 years. I have managed over 250 to 300 people from various generations that they were born in. And I've had some really interesting conversations behind the lens. It's time that I bring that in front of the lens. So, my first episode is with a very dear friend of mine who's actually helped me entertain lakhs and lakhs of people in corporate India. He mesmerizes people through his illusions. He's extremely funny. He's just about someone who knows where to draw the line in the corporate humor. But more so, he and me have had some backstage conversations that only we can talk about. So this podcast, I thought, will uspe char chand lag jayenge if Akshay Laxman is with me to start the things out and start talking to me about what equals to him in this life. So welcome Akshay to the first episode and thank you for doing this with me.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Amit. It's an honor for me to be here on the first episode. Yeah.
Pata nahi yaar, honor ya no honor, but the entire reality is that I think, like I said in the introduction, you and me have had so many backstage conversations, post-event conversations that actually have been extremely entertaining, not just for me, but our bystanders as well, because both you and me are pretty animated. And we've always drawn from analogies of life.
Right.
And that's what Equals to is all about. So, when I called you for the podcast, पहले क्या दिमाग में आया कि यार ये बंदा बौखला गया है, business भी कर रहा है, ये भी कर रहा है. What was the first reaction like?
So, honest to God reaction. I remember I was on my way to watch Interstellar for the 112th time in life on the big screen in IMAX. So, I was already in a very good and jolly mood. Okay. Now, when you called me and you said that you have to be on my podcast. So, for me, I really looked forward to it because even though I've lost count on how many podcasts I've done. But there was always this one, hiccup, which was very hidden, which I couldn't be vocal about because it might offend somebody. That, almost in every podcast, you get the same set of questions. It's very generic. It's, it's for the same PG probably.
Yeah.
You do get tired of answering the same things. And you do feel that, there's a treasure of wisdom that you have, which you would like to impart. But you can't really slip in the questions yourself.
Correct.
So the moment you said that, because I really look up to you when it comes to you being a professional and someone with a great intellect. And as you mentioned, 15 years of running a business, 300 people. So there's leadership, there's improvisation. In fact, I would like to tell the audience that when we speak off stage, after the show especially, many a times it's about him improvising on my acts. Like maybe you can tweak it this way or that way. And I have used those and they have worked. I mean, I don't want to reveal the act, but there was a finale act which I was trying out last year, which was good, but was never getting standing ovations because the audience had one question in their minds. Which would, somewhere make the act lose its credibility.
I know which one you're talking about.
You know which one I'm talking about. And you asked me to, add this one line in it so that it doesn't lose its credibility.
Absolutely.
And I applied it from the very next show and it starts to get standing ovation. So it's just one sentence. It's not even an act, which can define whether you get a standing ovation or no. So when this person says, I'm starting a podcast, I'm really looking forward to it because I think there's a lot of wisdom I would get to share and I'll gain some myself. So
look forward to that and thank you so much for your kindness. At what stage did this pack of cards of mentalism, of illusion come to you, and what did you see that you observed that said, this is going to be something I'd be doing?
So I started out as a kid magician when I was 5 years old. And the reason for that is the place where we used to stay, there was no one else in the entire building apart from my family.
Okay.
So it was like a 5-storied building, but it was brand new. And there's something called as a sample flat.
Yeah.
So my father bought the sample flat, and hence the sales started afterwards.
Okay.
So I had no siblings, nothing, 5-year-old. So what would you do to pass your time, at that moment? But this was 1995, and we had DD1 and DD Metro, if you remember, on television.
Yeah.
So there used to be a magician by the name of David Copperfield.
Of course.
And they used to air his shows on that channel, sometimes in English and sometimes in Hindi. The Hindi ones were fun because the dubbing was funny. मैं चाहता हूँ आप इनमें से एक पत्ता select करें. आपका card है 2 of clubs. And all of these fun acts. So he would fly, he would read minds, he would do a lot of things. And that fascinated me. But what was interesting was I realized that even my family is fascinated by that, which technically they were not fascinated by the cartoons that I was watching. But here's this one piece of entertainment which is entertaining me as well as them. So even as a 5-year-old, for some reason, I observed that. And then there used to be fun fair and exhibitions, Hindi mein jise mela kehte hain hum, where they sell out some magic tricks for,
Correct.
you buy out. So I bought a few over there. My father bought it for me. And I tried it out on, in my school, on my teachers. Now as a 5-year-old or as a 6-year-old, to get validation from your kid friends, it's okay, it's fun.
Correct.
But to get validation of people who are 3 decades older than you,
Correct.
it does something to your brain.
Yeah.
Because suddenly you feel, and don't get me wrong, but you feel I'm above them.
Yeah.
Because you have quote unquote fooled them.
Yeah.
So technically you've had to be 5 steps ahead of their intellect
Yeah.
to be able to fool them.
Yeah.
And even though the word fool sounds negative maybe, but the reality is it boosts your confidence and your ego to a certain extent, where you can't wait to feel that all over again.
Yeah.
It's like a drug.
Yeah.
So what do? You go out and buy some new trick one more time. And now you want to show this again because now you again want to get that reaction. You again want to feel superior. And this way, I did not even realize, but that yearning for making friends or having people around you, it just disappeared because I was focused on the audience.
Okay.
And that water slide of a momentum
Yeah.
continued in such a way that I'm sitting here and doing the podcast with you, doing this professionally, very well, hopefully. So that's how it actually started.
Yeah.
It started. So this is one of the reasons why I could make it as a professional performer,
Yeah.
because my school of thought was always about the audience, not
Correct.
about me.
Correct.
About the reactions, not about me.
Yeah.
Where a lot of performers make that mistake.
Well, true. I think what I'm kind of deriving from what you're telling me is, though the vision would have come to you later on,
Yeah.
but the hunger came to you before.
Yes.
You analyzed that hunger and you dissected it to saying, this tool is making me impress my audience around, and that's what makes me a little superior. So I'll chase this. So
there's an interesting turn of events there. I think it was the age of 18 where I got a call to perform on national television, which was Pogo. And when I was 18, like you can imagine back then, in 2008, Pogo was huge.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was doing some show over there, and there was another magician performing over there along with me. And he just mentioned to me, when this airs, when this goes to every household, our name will be such that, we'll start getting shows, and I can't wait for it. And my reply to that was, any show nahi karna hai yaar. So I was never interested in doing this professionally.
Okay.
I was interested in just doing it.
Correct.
For the fun of it.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to become a filmmaker.
Oh.
That was my thought.
Okay.
So I used to study script writing. I used to study filmmaking. I used to study editing. I used to do all that myself.
Okay.
In fact, I assisted Suraj Barjatia when I was 21.
How
for
cool.
a year.
How cool.
I did mass media. I started doing professional shows only at the age of 21. Like while I was doing my final year in college.
Okay.
That's when I started getting shows, and my mother was the one who said that, if you get some money from it, it will be great because it will help us in the
Help
house.
us on the house.
And that's how it. So when you talk about vision, it never really happened to me that, okay, now this is what I have to do.
This is not the moment.
This is
There
not
was
the
no
moment.
snap moment. There was.
Although I would just point out to one moment where 21 May I was on a cruise in US, professionally performing for a year. Before coming back, I had this thought. Now I'm 22. For a year, I've performed in the US, and I did about 153 shows there. Okay, every alternate day, you're doing shows.
Nice.
Now, what do I do with this? Do I come back on the ship and this is my life? Do I go back and start filmmaking as a struggler? Or do I take this mantle, which I already have had without any conscious effort to it,
Yeah.
and do I take it to the next level? That's the thought. That's the point where the vision thing came
A
in.
vision thing came in.
And I started studying business for that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so you backed your on-ground skills with
Yeah.
certain business skills.
Yes.
And today that makes you kind of a package, if I'm not wrong, because I've dealt with you professionally as well.
Yes.
And at certain stages, I've seen, and India is a plethora of artists, if I may say so. I think we are blessed with so much of talent. Our Indian cricket team is probably an epitome of that at this point of time. But yes, even on the skill sets point of view, corporate India is also blessed with so many options, so much talent.
Yeah.
You're seeing reality shows
Yeah.
every nook and corner. And that's where I think, it completes you as a professional, that you're not just thinking about your art, but you also understand how it can be a business. And that's where I think you've really, compliments to you. You've been able to capitalize on that very, very well. Talking about reality shows, right? You won a few of them, if I am
Yes,
not wrong,
yes,
right?
yeah.
I'm sure a few of my audience members might not know. So you can stop being humble and tell me a little bit about that part of the world. And how was your entire experience on that? And was it a part of the vision board to actually be seen on the screen before you actually made it like a profession? And, was that kind of a tick mark for you?
So, very interestingly, as I mentioned, I used to study films, okay, and filmmaking. And so, one of the artists that I studied a lot, and this might come as a surprise, is Michael Jackson. Because
Okay.
at the time and age when music videos were not like a big thing, okay, it's just a music video, play the song and you dance, and
Correct.
but he used to make short films for every music video
Music
that he
video.
put out there.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
if you've seen Thriller,
Absolutely.
okay,
It
1984.
looks like a short film.
It looks like a short film. It's
True.
a 13-minute short film.
True.
So when I studied all of that, and when I studied business, without going to college to study business, I studied Steve Jobs and Bill Gates, and I studied them properly with books. So I realized one thing, that whenever I'm putting my business out there, like my name is Akshay Laxman, but it's not Akshay Laxman, it's Akshay Sharma. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, really? That's something even I'm discovering about you.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I chose to go with the name Akshay Laxman from a brand building point of view.
Okay.
So, like, very quickly, I'll tell you, when I Googled Akshay Sharma, when I was 22 or 21, before coming back to India,
Yeah.
and I saw there were 18,000 results. Not even kidding. There were 18,000 Akshay Sharmas 14 years ago. Okay. And I realized, अब इन लोगों में ना आगे आते आते पता नहीं कितना समय लग जाएगा.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So my father's name is Lakshman. So,
Okay.
So I thought, what if I make it into Akshay Laxman? Sounds better. Sounds different. And then I Googled Akshay Laxman and there was 0 results.
Oh, really?
No results.
How cool is that?
So I conducted a small experiment. I changed all my videos on YouTube from Akshay Sharma to Akshay Laxman. And a week later, I Googled Akshay Laxman. Now, only results were those videos. So I realized this is the perfect plot to pitch your tent.
Nice.
And that's when I came up with the thought that I need to have a show reel. Right? Now, the question that you asked me, basically, I think
The reality shows.
the reality shows.
Yeah.
This is directly connected to that.
Correct.
So when I was putting up a show reel, I was putting up footages from my live shows, from my cruise ship, from all of that. And I realized something is missing. The celebrity factor is missing. Like the television factor. Why do we feel that, we should hire him? Oh, he's a star.
Correct.
वो कैसे आएगा वो?
Correct.
That would come if I get some footage which has a logo of a channel which is very popular. That footage has to go in somewhere.
Yeah.
That would help me sell it.
Correct.
So from that point of view, I auditioned for reality shows.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, 2 of these shows were very important. One was India's Got Talent, season 5. One was Entertainment Le Kuch Bhi Karega.
Okay.
Now, both these reality shows were important because India's Got Talent, I shot. I got 3 yeses. But right after the shoot, Karan Johar told me, I don't even know why are you doing this. I mean, what you're doing is psychology. It's something different, completely altogether. I'll put you onto the right people, I don't know why are you doing this. So he, being a judge, after the shoot, he told me, why are you doing this?
Okay.
Because I did my signature touch act.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Imagine 13, 14 years ago, they had not seen anything like mentalism or something like that. So he just felt this is class apart.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but my episode never got aired.
Oh, really?
My episode on India's Got Talent never got aired, but I get a call, and the call is from Amir Khan.
Oh,
Huh.
okay.
It's like, hi Akshay, Karan gave me your number, yeah. I was like, why is Amir Khan calling me? And
You would have thought it's a prank.
I saw it on Truecaller, Amir Khan. So I thought maybe anybody can
कोई
be
भी हो,
Amir
हाँ,
Khan.
हाँ.
But it's like,
Airtel का bill भरना है
कुछ
सर
भी हो
आपको.
सकता है. कुछ भी हो सकता है. It's like, what are you doing on the New Year's, yeah? Huh? What are you doing on New Year's, huh? Because Dhoom 3 had come in and Amir was playing a magician in that film.
Correct.
It's like, Karan told me, just book him here, just call him, okay? Don't think much, just. So I went to Amir's house. I did the entire show. After the show, Amir told me, everything is getting connected to your question.
Correct.
After the show, Amir told me, if there's anything, let me know, yaar. And this is out of politeness.
Correct.
It's not like a week later you call up and you say, मुझे कुछ चाहिए.
हाँ,
yeah,
sir,
हाँ, मैं अब भी ला के
Dhoom 4 में मेरे को
हाँ,
cast करना सर.
So, but when he said, if there's anything that I can do for you, let me know. I immediately, I don't know how, I just said, and I'm 23 years old, imagine that.
Yeah.
And I just said, could you give me a small testimonial?
Okay.
And I was 101% prepared for a no.
No. Correct.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah.
They can
पूछने
say,
में क्या जाता
क्या
है?
जाता है?
Exactly.
The moment I asked for the testimonial, he's like, yeah, sure. And he just stood up.
How cool.
He just stood up, and my friend Rick was with me, Rudranil. He held the camera, and childhood friend,
Yeah.
and switches on the camera and says, action. And I look at my friend and I'm like, tu Amir Khan ko action bolega? And Amir started giving the testimonial, and then he stopped midway. And I got scared. Has he suddenly decided not to do this?
Yeah.
मैं 6 crore लेता हूँ endorsement का.
Uh,
And I had, like, you can imagine for that 2 seconds, your world stops.
correct.
Then he grabs my shoulder and pulls me in the frame.
How cool
And
is
then
that?
starts the
How cool is
testimonial again.
that? Yeah.
Now, this footage went into my show reel, as they say that.
Correct.
Okay. And I started playing this before I entered the stage.
Okay.
Because my footage, my episode never aired from
Yeah.
India's Got Talent.
Yeah.
The same team was doing Entertainment Le Kuch Bhi Karega.
Okay.
And they did not audition me then. They said, because you already shot over there,
Yeah.
you don't need to audition. They got me onto that show, and then I won that show.
Okay.
Who
Nice.
declared me the winner? Our good friend Siddharth
Siddharth
Malhotra.
Malhotra. Wonderful. Wonderful.